So I made a mistake. Actually, I made several mistakes. So last week, I finally got primer on all of these cabinet boxes, which felt like a massive victory at the time. And then it dried, and I started looking closely at it. That's not supposed to be there. Apparently, I got too confident with the sprayer because I've got drips in quite a few places that now need to be sanded back down. It's a little hard to see on camera, but they are there. The streaks here, where it I don't know if you see where it's got lines. Those are paint drips. And because I only did one layer of aqua coat before priming, the primer did me the wonderful favor of showing me exactly where I need to fill in the wood grain. So that's what we're fixing today, and I have practically no time this week. The goal is to sand down my mistakes, use grain filler so that we can't see the wood anymore, and if everything goes according to plan, to paint the cabinet boxes the color that they are supposed to be. And if by some miracle I have time left after that, I'm going to get started on the cabinet faces. So let's see how much of this I can actually get done. The good thing about primer is that it makes everything one color. The bad thing is that it shows every little mistake that I have made. Before priming, I was staring at every little surface wondering, is that filled? Am I going crazy here? Turns out I'm not, because the primer showed where it just looked like and the primer has provided me a very detailed list of everything that I did wrong. You can definitely see the wood grain and the streaks on this. You see obviously there's the grain, but do you see the streaks that are on it? We're gonna have to fix that. I'm not trying to make these look like brand new MDF cabinets because it is wood underneath. I just want the grain subdued enough that once they're painted, your eye goes to the cabinet, not every individual pore in the oak. Okay, so it is the next day. I put an additional coat of this aqua coat into some of these areas that had some deeper grain. And kind of one of the frustrating things about doing this, I mean, all of it's frustrating, the fact that I have to go in and do it, but one of the things that's frustrating is that it's not just like a one and done thing with the coat. So it can take upwards of like 3 to 4 coats to do this because even though it filled it, which you guys saw on camera earlier, that's when it's wet and the water evaporates out of it, and so it just shrinks down. That being said, it's looking significantly better than it did, but I'm gonna have to go back in, continue to put some coats onto these different areas in the cabinets and continue sanding so that we can get it painted and good to go. Okay, so this section here is particularly bad, so I'm just gonna take a power sander that's apparently leaking dust everywhere and just sand it down like the high points and go ahead and fill it. So I was just sanding some paint down there and I just realized something awful. I totally forgot I'm gonna have to caulk first before I actually go in paint. And I know that's kind of like a no shit statement, but I completely forgot, so no. I was hoping to like grain fill this last little bit and then just like paint and we're good to go, but no. I swear to God, Tim couldn't be any louder blowing his nose. It's ridiculous. I don't know if you can even hear that on camera, but I just realized I need to nail this in a little more. Okay, that did f***ing nothing. That also did what the fuck? Ugh. Okay. I'm just gonna caulk it. That's ghetto, but so is this f***ing house. Okay, I'm just gonna level with you guys. I feel like absolutely nothing is going to plan right now. This is taking significantly longer than it should, and the wood grain is so incredibly deep that I keep having to put coats of aqua coat, which has to cure for like 45 to 60 minutes before I can put another coat on, and I'm currently like 4 or 5 coats deep. I'm gonna fucking lose it. And because I am already so frustrated by this, and because it's taking me so long, I feel like I have very limited bandwidth, and this is gonna sound really strange, so just stick with me here. The idea of having to take my spray painter and figuring out priming it with water and then emptying it and then priming it with paint and then spraying and then getting covered in paint, and then my sandals get covered in paint, so then I stick to the floor and I'm walking around with a ventilator and I'm like sweaty and uncomfortable and covered in paint, and I end up having to wash my hair again for the second time today. And the idea of that makes me want to walk out into traffic. Instead, I think that I am going to rage tear off these plastic sheets and I'm gonna hand paint it. It literally took me 12 hours to get this plastic up, but I'm doing what's best for me now. And right now, for my sanity, I think that that is hand painting, or more specifically, not having to use that sprayer right now. I know that sounds kind of nuts, but I'm gonna do that. I know that at the beginning of this project, I was complaining that this job cost $14,000 to get a professional. Oh, that was kind of impressive. Did you guys see that? To do? I'm not bitching about that anymore. The further along that I get into this project, the more that it makes sense to me why someone would charge 14 grand to do this. Because it has been nothing but problems since the beginning. Okay, actually that looks really good. Look at that. Something about the plastic being down makes it look like an actual cabinet now, and now it actually looks so good. I'm actually kind of impressed with my ability to tape though. I was worried that it was going to that I was gonna miss sections, that it was just gonna seep through. The paint from this primer was so thick, it literally like cracks. I don't know how else to describe it. That's so weird. Kind of satisfying though. Okay, now that there is plastic everywhere, I mean, I kind of feel better, but the mess is driving me nuts, so I've just gotta clean this up and start putting some shit away so I can, like, think clearly. Maybe I should have Tim help me. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. So I'm briefly interrupting to let those of you that are new here know that I post videos every single Monday. So make sure that you like and subscribe. Also, any products that are used or worn will be linked. Now back to the video.
You ripped all the plastic down.
Yeah.
Yay.
Why is it yay question mark?
I'm just wondering why you ripped all the plastic down.
Well, this portion of today's video is sponsored by my mental breakdown, so. I had enough. Nothing was going to plan.
No, I'm sorry. What happened?
It's too soon, Tim.
Too soon.
Too soon. Oh, by the way, we should probably address something here. Hold on. Wait, Tim, show on your handsome face.
I don't know that we need to address this.
Tim got launched from his electric scooter.
No.
That's exactly what happened. For the record, I told Tim, don't buy one because you'll get into an accident with them and you don't bounce back anymore. You bought one anyways, and he ate
I don't necessarily know that we need to air out all of our shortcomings on this channel.
Well,
we have to take down this plastic. Do you want to take down this plastic?
Oh yeah, can you just push it in and
Yeah, I'll take it.
just a couple bruised ribs, that's all.
Just a couple bruised ribs, a black eye, nothing bad or anything like that.
Jeez, I missed a lot of cabinets.
Apparently Rage didn't last quite long enough.
No, it didn't. Okay, now that the kitchen is significantly more put together, I can get started on putting that first coat of paint up and then see where we're at. So today we're going to be using a color called Dove White by Benjamin Moore. But we are going to be using Valspar's cabinet and furniture paint. We're not using Benjamin Moore paint for this, not only because it's significantly more expensive, but also because last time I painted cabinets, I found out that I hated Benjamin Moore paint. I know everyone likes to say it's like a luxury paint, but I swear to God, I put, I think, 3 coats of that white paint on my cabinets and it was still showing the color underneath. The only thing literally that saved it was I just said it and I went to using Valspar paint instead, and it saved my project and that's what I use now. Okay, so I'm briefly interrupting here because there is a little update that I wanted to show you guys. So, Big Bertha is no longer an only child. She has a sibling right here. I mean, technically they're 2 different types of watermelons, so they're kind of like half siblings because they're all like in the watermelon family, but like they're not exactly the same. You get what I'm saying. Look at, you gotta see this watermelon. Look at her, this one's so big. She literally showed up overnight. Tim was watering the watermelons a couple of days ago and she didn't exist, and then the next morning she was here. She is a black diamond. Apparently they get from anywhere from like 35 to 55 pounds, so she's gonna be a big bitch. Comment down below what you guys think we should name this one. I think Big Deborah. I'm not sold on a name quite yet. We have a bunch of these like little watermelon babies all over these vines, but most of them have not turned into watermelons. We just have this one and this one. But we've had a bunch of these little guys go in here and they never turned into that. She's gonna be big. Anyways, that's how our patch is doing. All right, so I am going in and I'm putting a second coat of this furniture paint onto the cabinets, making sure everything is nice and coated. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it for a couple of days to really cure. Now, normally, I don't know if you guys have ever watched tutorials or videos online of like how to paint furniture and cabinets. And based on my experience of those videos, they all say the exact same thing. You need to degrease first, you need to scuff sand, and then you have to use a good primer, and then you have to paint it, usually 2 coats, but with specifically a furniture grade paint, and then you let it dry and it's done. And I suppose that technically you could do that, but in my experience that just, you're missing something, it doesn't fully work. So when I painted the cabinets in the condo, I followed those steps exactly, and I just felt like the paint was never hard enough, if that makes sense. So like there's a difference between when you go in and paint something versus when you purchase a piece of furniture that is pre-painted from a factory. So like, for example, if you were to get a vanity or something, it almost doesn't feel like paint. It's this like rock hard, sleek surface that doesn't chip, doesn't scratch. It's almost like plastic. And I was expecting those results from painting my cabinets the first time because that's what everyone online was telling me to do. After I painted those cabinets and then in the following years, the cabinets looked good, but then up close, you would notice that there were kind of some chips in certain areas where like doors rubbed and like corners and things like that. And it felt like exactly what had happened. It felt like it was painted on. It was missing something. And if you really wanted to, with your finger, you could really go in and scrape and get off some of that paint. And I don't like that feeling. It stresses me out. I did a little bit of research and that was what I found my secret weapon. It was the difference between something you painted at home versus something you picked up that had a factory finish. That important key thing is the Minwax Polycrylic Crystal Clear top coat. I am not sponsored by them. I paid for this with my own money. This is just what I use. This stuff, I kid you not, is the difference between that DIY at-home painter bullshit, I would know, and a factory finish. I will never not use this stuff for furniture and things that I have painted that regularly have traffic. This is the kind of stuff, it's not super expensive. You can get it at your local box store. I think this was like 20 bucks or something like that. A little bit goes a long way. It's really, really watery thin. You roll it on, you do like 2 coats or whatever the instructions say, and it will make your surface hard as a rock. I was seriously so surprised when I used this. I heard about it and I thought it was a bunch of horse shit, and it works wonders, seriously. If you are painting, I cannot recommend this enough. Put it on your furniture. That being said, I am not going to be putting this on today because my paint has to cure for, I think it's 48 hours or something like that, it says. I don't know, I'll have to reread the instructions. But your paint underneath has to be super dry, and because I just painted this, I think I need to give it a couple of days before I slap this stuff over top. Okay, so I am now done painting all of these cabinets, everything, without any of Tim's help, all by myself. You have nothing to say? Okay, so anyways, now that I am officially done painting the boxes of the cabinets, I'm a little bit limited on time. Okay, bye, Tim. I'm a little bit limited on time. That being said, we have time for one more thing. I have been trying to decide between working on some of the cabinet faces, grain filling them like I did here, since I'm gonna have to do, 48 of them? Or I can go in and scrape the paint off of this window. I think that I'm gonna go with the scraping off the window because that I think will be a little bit more visually satisfying for you guys to watch. Also, it's driving me f***ing nuts. Okay, so our running total is currently $579, same as last week, because this week we didn't have to spend any additional money. That means that we are still significantly far away from that $14,000 quote that I was given to professionally have these cabinets redone. And I am already getting really tired of this project. So next week I'm gonna see if I can sort of speed run through these doors as best as I can because I need this to be over. And I'm sure you guys are ready for the next project too. As I'm looking around though, with the cabinets being white and everything else being white, including this flooring, which is hideous by the way, it's feeling very sterile in here. So I feel like I would let you guys in a little bit to my thought process here. So for those of you that are new here, welcome. For those of you that have been here a long time though, you might already know the way that I work creatively is I like to create a blank canvas before I go in and decide what I'm going to do with a space. So that being said, my blank canvas is I'm painting the cabinets white, the walls are cream, and then we go from there, adding color, adding texture, adding dimension, and everything else. Creatively, I struggle when there's way too much going on in a space and I don't even know where to start, and I just want to strip everything down so I have a blank canvas to create something in. Usually though, I'm not in a space that already has white floors. That being said, here is a little bit of a visual as far as what I am considering doing for this kitchen. I want to put in laminate wood flooring to warm it up. This island is going to have a wood facade to also warm it up, and we're going to play a little bit with colors, textures, and dimension. This is far from where the kitchen is going to be when I'm done. However, what we are doing right now is we are creating an excellent blank canvas. But it is feeling very like hospital sterile, and I don't like the all white. It's kind of pushing my buttons. It's significantly better than the orange. I suppose at the end of the day, hospital is a little bit better than 90s crack house. So that being said, I'll see you guys next week.